On the extraordinary NEC meeting of June 20th, NEC resolved that amateur football will only be able to return at lockdown level 1. And the meeting held by the competitions committee through virtual platform on August 4 upheld that particular resolution of the NEC. And this afternoon, let me say, after the announcement of the state president that by next week we will be going to lockdown level 1, and the announcement made by the Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma yesterday, we have noted that the regulations which they announced are not in favor of the return of amateur football. NEC has resolved that we need our protocol team must go during the course of this week and engage the department, the government through the Department of Sports, to make it a bit feasible for us to return across, not only for the ABC Motsepe League, but across all the 52 SAFA regions and 341 LFAs.
So where does this put ABC Motsepe?
Within this particular week, we will be able to have taken a feasible resolution by NEC for us to be able to return to training, and from training straight to matches.
Was there any proposal or communication with the department prior to the announcement of the president in terms of, since we know that we are now in level 2, to say when we go to level 1, what will be the issue and what will be the requirement? So prior to the proceedings of this week, was there any approach from your side as football to the ministry?
Yes.
Of course, Velile, we had spoken with the government, we had meetings, and we spoke about our requirements. The only issue which has been of obstacle is the requirement of testing. And we continue to have meeting with government because, the games are not going to be played under a bubble. So you're going to have players anyway going to school. At school, you are not testing them. You are just screening them. So those are part of the issues which we have continuous engagement with the director. And the resolution of the meeting was also to escalate it to the minister before they publicize the new regulations. Because, once the levels of the regulations are lowered, there are also new regulations from different departments. So that's part of the issues we are taking forward to the minister.
Just a follow-up. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, and then clearly this leaves you pressed for time. In terms of communicating with the PSL, considering that they are done now, almost done with the first division, they are awaiting the teams that will fill the 2 gaps.
Well, there's been a good working relationship with the league. As both CEOs we have spoken, and the management committee of the league has ratified our request that the registration window period be extended to the end of November. That will be done. Is just for us to communicate the new date of registration with FIFA. And the expectation to get our 2 teams joining the league, we have spoken and discussed that the latest can be the 2nd week of December. We all know that even when this previous season started, not all teams started at the same time. There are those who played catch up. So we will ensure that our teams are registered by the end of November. And when they are required to start playing in the 2nd week of December, that's what we are pushing for. Those are the timelines. But I should say there have been communication with the league and there have been agreements with the league. Well, of course, now in this meeting we have picked up that there are just a lot of contradictions in those regulations. It's part of the issues we are taking up with the minister, because it says the continental travel is allowed, but international sporting events are still not allowed. So we will go and engage, and we believe that we'll find solution after speaking with the government.
So where does this put you? Because I see inside you're going ahead head coach presentation, you're going ahead with preparations for the next one?
Of course, the preparation must continue because we should not wait for the government to say, yes, you can play, then we start planning then. So the preparations will continue.
Is this also puzzling because there's 500 outdoor gathering, but on the other side there are the strict regulations towards sport, and I don't want to go back to a point. It's like sport was not really prepared in terms of a proposal, and this has got nothing to do with you as federations.
No, of course, that's why we are waiting for the clear regulations from sports. We cannot then jump to that conclusion. Remember that after regulations are publicized by the Minister of Corporate Governance, different departments, and we are keenly looking forward to see the regulations for sports specific. So we cannot just run to that conclusion that it was not looked at. There are a lot of things which have been communicated by the command team. Then later when the ministers communicate, there are something different. So we will not want to. That's why we are saying we are preferring to engage with the government, so that when the Minister of Sports deals with the regulation, at least we have put our case forward also.
Yeah, I know that you said you were coming from a SAFA Cup meeting when the minister was there. Is it something that was also touched in that meeting?
Of course, it was. I was not in attendance of that meeting because of this meeting we had. So I've not yet got the report because we had to leave earlier because of this meeting.
Of the provinces only need an average of 8 weeks, and in that 8 weeks we have agreed as the competitions committee that we can divide it into half, and we need at least 4 weeks based on the recommendation of the protocol team for the clubs to return to training. And we give them a week long break, and the last week will be the national championships. So in a nutshell, at least on an average 10 weeks will suffice.
We received some money from FIFA and CAF, which has helped us quite a lot. So our financials have not been audited yet, but we are going to report a surplus of not less than 60 million rands. So this is quite a huge improvement, considering that last year we reported a loss of 74 million. And what we received from FIFA, yes, we can share the figures with you. We received a total of $1.5 million US. $500,000 US is allocated to women's football development, and $500,000 US was COVID-19 relief, which we have received, and the other $500,000 US will be paid next year in January. It's also part of the COVID-19 relief. So it really assisted us. As I say, we are going to report a nice surplus.
And in terms of the allocation from what is received so far, how are you distributing it?
We are distributing it to our regions. We have already paid our regions, and obviously our regions will also filter it down to their affiliates. So, and then some of it will be paid, will be used to pay our operational costs.
I understand. I think there's a $500,000 US specifically for women's football. How are you utilizing it?
We are using it towards women's football development. So far, we are going to pay some of the Banyana players who have been affected by the COVID-19, who are unemployed. So we are going to pay them sort of a relief payment. And also we're going to use it towards our women's national teams. So the money will be used specifically for women's football.
In the last virtual press I attended with you, you had said the following week you are going to issue the prize money for National Women's League.
No, they are paid. They've been paid. Maybe you checked very late, Mr. Belil. What the confusion was, there was two positions, whether to give them in a very organized situation, and that delayed the payment. The payment was always going to be made, but now I'm sure it's 3 weeks that we've paid the prize monies for that league, and we are still going ahead planning for a formal prize giving for them, because we need to respect that league and we need to do things in a proper way. So the confusion was, we thought that the levels would be lowered earlier so that we have a very nice event where we honor these women, because it's not just about putting money in their account. We wanted to do the real honor and thank them for having participated in this league. So that was the only hold-up. But when we saw that the levels are being reduced and some of you things that we don't want to pay or we have challenges, then we paid them. It's now 3 weeks that they've been paid their prize monies.
They will leave for Europe on Wednesday, and they will only arrive in Europe on a Thursday, and they will be playing a league match that same weekend. And this is how they lose their positions in the team. So we are saying for this friendly, let's give them 2 days. They come in, we play on Sunday, we dismiss the camp immediately after the game. Those who have to travel back, they can go back and then go and compete to be in the team for that particular weekend. So there are challenges if you believe you are right, but still people criticize you, which is very common.